Inflation has caught a bad rap. Everywhere you look in the financial media, everybody is talking about how inflation is so bad, how inflation, the world is about to end. Inflation, inflation, inflation. But in this episode, we're going to talk about 5 ways inflation is good for the economy and the sector, which includes some companies, to benefit from rising inflation. But always, always, boys and girls, you already know what time it is. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and make sure. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, hit that like, comment, and share button. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages, you are now tuned into the Investor Show. And as always, this is your gracious host, the Prince of Investing, Prince Dykes, coming to you guys and girls live all the way from the beautiful city and state of Denver, Colorado. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, comment, and share button. And if you are catching this live, drop a comment and we will get to them at the end. So, ladies and gentlemen, we all heard about inflation. Everybody's talked about, hey, we had the stimulus checks. I even talked about it here on the show. Inflation, what we're going to do with rising inflation, consumer price index, whatever, right? Everybody act like it's so bad. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk to you guys and girls 5 ways about how inflation is good for the economy. What we just did with the stimulus check was we pumped in more dollars into the economy, which decreased the purchasing power of the dollar. Meaning, when you push more dollars into the economy, now this increases this. The number one way is by putting more money in people's pocket. What does that do? People want to get out, spend, do other things, travel, go on vacation, buy a watch, a car. What do they decide to do? So by pushing more money into people's pockets, it increases the demand. That's number one. Number two, ties off. Once you push more money, this increases demands. Demand means that people want to go out and do things. Now, I have money. I want to go to the movies. I want to go on a date. I want to go buy the shoes I want. I want to go travel. Some people may want to go invest. Anything, anyway, it increases the demand for goods. Goods being things like we go buy consumables, things that we buy every day. Now, guess what? When people starting to buy more things, guess what this does? Number 3, it increases production. So let's say, for prime example, I make candy bars. Now people have more money. They want to buy more candy bars. When people start to buy more candy bars, guess what I got to do? I got to increase production. I got to hire more people. I got to do things. I got to increase production. Number 4, goes back to the labor force. When you increase production of anything, you're going to need more people to increase the production. Why do we pay attention to manufacturing hours? Manufacturing hours is a great indicator of what's to come in the economy. So number 1, you're pushing more dollars. When people have more dollars, this goes into number 2, which increases demand. Number 3, once you increase demand, now you have to increase production. Number 4, you have to increase the labor force. So a lot of people that was unemployed, didn't have jobs. Now you have more jobs on the market. That's number 4. Number 5, when you have demand rising and supply stays the same, that is going to increase the prices of goods and services. So if my candy bars were $1 and I keep selling now, I may raise the price to $1.25, right? Because the buyer and the seller are always trying to find the equilibrium price. So now I'm saying, hey, I got to raise the prices, and guess what happens when I raise the price? Now that means I have higher profits. Higher prices equals higher profits. Now this is not always true, because if the price of chocolate goes up, that takes away my higher profits. But let's say if prices didn't, let's say in a fictional world or whatever, not a fictional world, but let's say if my cost of goods didn't go up, then I can raise my prices. And when I raise my prices, that's going to increase my profit margin, right? So now when you increase your profit margin, how does that affect an investor? Now my company that I invested in is making more money, and their share prices should reflect that the company's doing good and they're making more money, because every time we look at that 10Q or that 10K, we want to see the retained earnings increase that's coming off of the balance sheet, right? So now just keep in mind, when I push in more money, when you give people more money, that increases the demand. Once you increase the demand, now I have to produce more. That increases production. In order to increase production, that means I have to hire more people. And once I hire more people, now I can raise the prices, which can raise the profits on my products, goods, and services. And when companies make more money, it makes investors happy. Now you got to ask yourself, who benefits from inflation? If you're catching this live or the playback or the video version, you're going to see my screen here. This is the consumer discretionary sector. The consumer discretionary sector. This is an ETF I have pulled up. I'm not going to say this is the best one. I just pulled up a random one. This is XLY if you want to look it up for yourself. But there are plenty of consumer discretionary ETFs out there. Consumer discretionary. So consumer discretionary are things kind of like what it sounds like customers buy. So let's look at the top 10 holders. Here are some companies. So inside of consumer discretionary means when people make more money, they spend more money in these places. So you have booking.com. Booking.com, I just booked a hotel on there not too long ago. So this is a place where you could go book hotels, travels, things like that. People traveling more. You have Lowe's. Lowe's, people may go in and start to repair their house, expand on their house, those type of things. You got Nike. Everybody know what Nike is. People may start to buy shoes. You got McDonald's, Home Depot, Amazon, Tesla, Target, right? You know, everybody know what Target and Walmart is. And a TJX company, that's not striking off the top of my head right now, but I know that company owns a bunch of retail. So that's a retail company. I know, but I can't think of exactly what it was. So you got retail, people buying clothes and things like that. You got people going on traveling with booking.com. People may head over to Target and start to buy more things for the consumables for their house. Starbucks, people may start to drink more Starbucks. McDonald's, the king of fast food. You got Nike, people may start to buy more shoes. People may start to repair their houses with Home Depot and Lowe's. And people may go out and buy a new Tesla. Or they may go on to Amazon and, you know, you can't stop the Amazon from coming to your house, right? So these are consumer discretionaries. So a lot of people think when they look at inflation, they say inflation is a bad thing. But I want to show you, hey, there is a positive side to inflation, right? So that's what we have. When you push more dollars into the economy, you're going to increase. Number one, you push more dollars into the economy. When more dollars into the economy, it increases the demand. Number two, which is increases demand. Number three is you're going to have to increase production. Number four, once you increase production, you're going to have to have more people working, or people are going to have to work more hours at the manufacturing positions to get more things done. And then this puts companies in position to raise their prices. And when companies raise their prices, this means they increase their profit margin, which means this increases their retained earnings that's on the balance sheet that's reported on their 10K and 10Q, which shows the sign of a healthy economy. Now, the thing about this, higher inflation is good, but you don't want inflation to go to hyperinflation, and you don't want us to go to de-inflation, right? So with a good amount of inflation, companies can raise their prices. They can raise their prices. Also, people can have more jobs, and there's more dollars for people to increase demands of services, demands for goods and services. For prime example, it doesn't matter what business idea you have. If nobody has any money, what good is it? So you want to be in that position to take advantage of that. All right. Let me see what y'all say in the comments before I roll out of here. So Al, what's going on, Al? What's going on? Max B, my guy, he said TJ Maxx and Marshall. Yeah, that's what TJX was. Yeah, I remember it was somebody like that. But TJ Maxx and Marshalls, you already saw it with Dollar Tree on their quarterly earnings. They said that these stimulus checks are coming directly to our company. They're benefiting from it. And that's why Dollar Tree is opening up a bunch of new stores. Not Dollar Tree, Dollar General. I'm sorry about that. Who is this? Says Bamelo. What's going on? It says, hello, how you doing? And Natasha, I agree with you. Just need wages to increase, please. Yes, we do definitely need wages to increase. And I think that's why you're seeing McDonald's, all these companies are saying we have a labor shortage. We don't have a labor shortage. We have a competitive wage shortage. So everybody's saying why people are not coming to work. People are not coming to work because they're lazy or they got stimulus checks. It's because nobody's trying to go work for $10 an hour because they can't leave in this economy. And I do agree, wages do need to increase. And I think it's going to self-adjust, Natasha. Lucky's mom, what's going on, Lucky's mom out there in Duval County? Derek Gilchrist says, keep bringing the knowledge, bro. Appreciate it, Diedrich, for checking me out. Max B said, what are a few ways we can beat inflation? You know, I just did an episode yesterday. Well, stocks. I think it'll hurt stocks in the beginning, but stocks always beat inflation historically. So it hurts stocks in the short run, but in the long run, it helps stocks because companies usually make more money. Right? He said, same company, Dollar General and Dollar Tree Correct. I'm not sure if they're connected. I haven't seen, I think they're actually separate. I don't think Dollar General and Dollar Tree are connected. I don't quote me on that, but I read Dollar General's 10Q report. I haven't seen anything about Dollar Tree on there, but they could be. So I haven't seen that, but I don't think they are. He said Yellen, who is the Secretary of Treasury, she predicts 3%. So yeah, so they want it to be around 2%. And when they're predicting 3%, Jerome Powell said he wants to keep it around 2. This way he may start to raise interest rates. So when he starts to raise, because they don't want inflation to get out of control. You don't want inflation to get out of control. But I think inflation is bad in the short term for stocks, but in the long term, stocks will win. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I got to get running. Thank you guys and girls for tuning in. Don't forget about those 5 ways. And don't always look at inflation as the worst thing in the world. And just understand that there are some benefits. And investors benefit from inflation. Housing prices going up, land prices are going up. Investors win in inflation in the long run, right? But we don't want crazy inflation. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, if you got something out of this, hit the thumbs up button. And to the next video, podcast, cartoon, or whatever else crazy y'all see me doing around the globe. My name is Prince Dykes. This is the Investor Show. Peace, be safe. I'm out, and thank you.